Hey guys, welcome to the NCERT Exemplar series presented by the Science Cafe channel, where we'll be discussing the MCQs from NCERT Exemplar Class 10. In this video, we'll be dealing with the chapter Life Processes with the questions and related concepts. Okay, let us move on to the first question. The first question here: which of the following statement about the autotrophs is incorrect? We know the autotrophs are the organisms which can synthesize their own food. Okay, this is all we have to know. Let us go to the first option. They synthesize carbohydrates from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. This statement is true. The second one, they store carbohydrates in the form of starch. Even this statement is true. They convert carbon dioxide and water into carbohydrates in the absence of sunlight. No, the photosynthesis is a process which takes place in the presence of sunlight. So the incorrect option among the following is your third one, that is option C. And the final option, they constitute the first trophic level in food chains. Autotrophs, being the producers, will always constitute the first trophic level in food chains. Okay, so the answer for this question is option C, which is the incorrect option. The second question, in which of the following groups of organisms food material is broken down outside the body and absorbed? The thing to be noted in this question is the food material is broken outside the body. If we are looking at nutrition, we know there are two modes. One is the autotrophic and the heterotrophic. In heterotrophic mode of nutrition, we know that the food material, when it is being broken outside, it comes under the category saprophytes. If we are looking at the example of saprophytes, we know we have yeast, mushroom, and bread mold, which are the examples of saprophyte. So, looking at this question, we can say the correct answer is the second option, option B, yeast, mushroom, bread mold. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Select the correct statement. Here we are asked about heterotrophs. What we need to know is that heterotrophs are organisms which do not synthesize their own food but are rather dependent on autotroph for their nutrition. Okay, let us look at the correct statement. The first statement, heterotrophs do not synthesize their own food. Statement is true. The second one, heterotrophs utilize solar energy for photosynthesis. This one is false. Okay. This third option, heterotrophs synthesize their own food. Even this one is false. And the last option, heterotrophs are capable of converting carbon dioxide and water into carbohydrate. Even this one is false. So the correct answer, the correct statement is the first one. Heterotrophs do not synthesize their own food. They are dependent on the autotrophs for their nutrition. Okay. Option A is the correct statement. The next question, which is the correct sequence of parts in human alimentary canal? Okay, we know when we eat, we just need to imagine this. The food first enters the mouth, then it goes into the esophagus, from which it is then transferred into the stomach. Then we have the small intestine, and finally we have the large intestine. So the order is mouth, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, and then large intestine. So the correct option for this question is option D. We need to know the mouth, where the food is masticated with the help of teeth and tongue. Then it goes into the esophagus. Then from there it moves on to the stomach, where it is partially digested. And then it moves on to the small intestine, where it is completely digested and absorbed. And then finally it moves on to the large intestine, then rectum, then anus. Okay. So the correct option is D. The fifth question. If salivary amylase is lacking in the saliva, which of the following events in the mouth cavity will be affected? We need to know what this enzyme salivary amylase does. The primary function of salivary amylase is to convert starch into maltose. Okay, so without salivary amylase, starch will not be converted into maltose, which is a sugar. So which of the following events in the mouth cavity will be affected is option B, starch breaking down into sugar. So salivary amylase breaks starch into maltose, without which this process wouldn't take place. The correct option is B. Okay, let us move on to the next question. Yeah, the next question. The inner lining of stomach is protected by one of the following from hydrochloric acid. Choose the correct one. We know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1, which will excoriate the walls of the stomach. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to prevent this, we need to know the pH of hydrochloric acid is 1. So to pr The cells of stomach releases mucus. Okay, this mucus is a coating which is present throughout the wall of inner lining of stomach, which will prevent the excoriating action of HCl on the walls of stomach. So the correct answer for this question is option B, mucus, which protects the wall of stomach from the excoriating nature of hydrochloric acid. Let us move on to the next question. The seventh question. Which part of alimentary canal receives bile from the liver? We need to know that bile is secreted by the liver, okay, and it is concentrated at the gallbladder. The bile is concentrated at the gallbladder. Then from here, the bile moves on into the small intestine. So the organ which receives the bile from the liver is small intestine. Along with bile, along with pancreatic juice, moves through the common hepatopancreatic duct into the small intestine. Okay, let us move on to the next question. A few drops of iodine solution were added to rice water. The solution turned blue-black in color. This indicates that the rice water contained. This is very simple. We have been learning this from standard 6th onwards, right? The change of iodine solution to blue-black in color is due to the presence of starch. Okay, it is mainly due to the presence of starch, which is your option D, which is the correct answer. Okay, the ninth question. In which part of the alimentary canal food is finally digested? The complete digestion of food takes place in the small intestine, right? So that is the place where the food is finally digested. It is the small intestine. In large intestine, what happens is absorption of water and certain drugs takes place in large intestine. But the digestion is completed in the small intestine. So the correct answer is option D, small intestine. The 10th question. Choose the function of the pancreatic juice from the following. We know in pancreatic juice we have trypsin, lipase, chymotrypsin and other enzymes. Okay, this trypsin digests proteins while lipase emulsifies fat. So the correct option among the given one is that trypsin digests protein and lipase is for fat. That is your option D, which is the correct answer. We should know trypsin is for protein and lipase is for emulsifying of the fat. The next question. When air is blown from mouth into a test tube containing lime water, the lime water turned milky. It is due to the presence of. We know the inhaled air contains oxygen, while the exhaled air contains carbon dioxide. Sorry, carbon dioxide turns lime water milky. So the correct answer for this question is option B, carbon dioxide, which turns lime water milky. The 12th question. The correct sequence of anaerobic reaction in yeast is. We know the anaerobic reaction in yeast results in the production of ethanol and carbon dioxide. So first we need to know that anaerobic reactions takes place in the cytoplasm itself. It doesn't move to the mitochondria. So glucose first converts into pyruvic acid or the pyruvate. Then the pyruvate again converts into ethanol and carbon dioxide in the cytoplasm. So the correct option is D. 13th question. Which of the following is most appropriate for aerobic respiration? Unlike anaerobic respiration, in aerobic respiration, reactions even occur in the mitochondria. So first glucose is converted into pyruvic acid plus energy in the cytoplasm. Okay. Then what happens is this pyruvic acid is again converted into carbon dioxide plus water plus energy in the mitochondria. We need to know that energy is released in this process. So between option C and D, the correct answer is D, because energy is released in this process. In aerobic respiration, energy is released. So the correct answer for this is option D. Glucose is broken down into pyruvic acid plus energy, and this pyruvic acid and energy is broken down in the mitochondria, releasing energy. 14th question. Which of the following statement is true about respiration? The first option. During inhalation, ribs move inward and diaphragm is raised. No. During inhalation, the ribs move outward. So the volume increases. The thoracic volume increases and the pressure decreases. Okay. The second option. In the alveoli, exchange of gases takes place. That is correct. Oxygen from alveolar air diffuses into blood and carbon dioxide from blood into alveolar. This option is correct. Hemoglobin has greater affinity for carbon dioxide than oxygen. No, this is false. Hemoglobin has greater affinity for oxygen. And the last option, alveoli increases surface area. Correct. The correct answer is option D. second option, and fourth option. Okay, which is the correct sequence of air passage during inhalation? This is pretty easy, we should know. When we breathe in, air moves into the nostrils, then we have the pharynx, then we have the larynx, trachea, and alveoli. To remember this, we can have this mnemonic IPL. Okay, everyone know it is the Indian Premier League, but here we can generalize in it as in humans, pharynx comes first, then larynx, P and L. Okay, option D is the correct answer. Okay, thank you.